Should you be investing now? You should be investing always. I would say especially now. When it gets scary and it starts to fluctuate and you start to see people Googling the Great Depression, this is when you make all your money. The stock market is nothing more than a reflection of all of our work globally. That's it, our human endeavors. It's the product of our human work. So as long as humanity continues to get smarter and more productive and more efficient, whether it's us or the robots or artificial intelligence that we're creating, doesn't matter how we do it, as long as we continue to create more and create better, the product of that will become more valuable. And our way to participate in that is called the stock market. It's not this crazy complex thing. Everyone overthinks it. Wall Street has spent, 70, 80 years trying to convince us that it's this big mysterious thing that only they can understand, that we have to go through them, that we need to be talking to them through these periods, right? It's all complete BS. I don't think there's anything more important in life other than maybe taking care of your family, than learning how to invest. Like, it's actually so insane to me. I think it's the most important thing we should be starting with from kindergarten, every year for your entire life. A good chunk of it should be focused on reminding you and teaching you how important it is for you to be part of this investor class. A better way to think about it is that something that we all can relate to is the idea of starting a company, right? We all want to be entrepreneurs. Not all, most of us in the back of our head, it would be cool to, own your own company, whatever that company is, right? It never used to be like that, but over the last 20 years, now we all kind of think like that. I would say for most people, it's insane to go out and start your own company ever. Being an investor, like just generally being an investor, right? Investing in stocks, investing in the market. This is what's so wild. You could actually go out and invest in the smartest people in the world. Like, you could just be like, by the way, complete psychopaths, people that will be like, they're gonna like destroy their family or not have a family. They will have basically no friends. They will work 80 hours a week. They're a genius. They're a psychopath. They're gonna do whatever it takes. They'll steamroll relationships to make their company a success. You can invest in Steve Jobs back in the day, right? You can invest in Jeff Bezos. You might hate Zuckerberg, but you can invest in Mark Zuckerberg if you want, right? Sam Altman, Elon Musk, right? Like, whoever it is, like, you don't have to try to be them. You could just literally just throw some money and just ride their life, right? Just like anything they create, any value that they create in this world, you could just get paid for all the stuff that they're doing. Like, we don't ever think like that, but you could do that. Like, we already know who these people are. And there are a lot of them out there, right? And do you think that you are that ambitious? Do you think that you're that smart? Are you willing to throw your whole life away just to achieve what they achieve? For almost everyone, that's probably not a smart or a healthy decision, honestly. But you don't have to. It is such a magical time to be an investor. Like, this is the best time in my life to be an investor, and especially, quite honestly, to be investing in public markets. Like, I used to say it was really difficult to identify information asymmetry, which is like my style of investing, like to identify information that other people don't see or don't appreciate. It's never been easier as a retail investor to do that and to beat Wall Street. Wall Street is weaker than they've ever been. They've had so many layoffs over the past decade. They're operating off of just a small amount of resources compared to what they used to have, right? The advantage has swung back to us retail investors. There's just never been a better time. Plus, there's just a lot more publicly traded companies now. They can't keep up with all the information flow. We live in a digital world. We live in a social world. What does that mean? It means that we're able to detect change. When I say we, I mean like normal people. And by the way, we live all around the world. We like live in the real world, right? We don't all live in kind of the same place, the Northeast, where we're kind of like all working together in the same buildings, around the same type of noise, with the same media, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, like just an echo chamber of thoughts. We're actually seeing the world change in real time. And that change ultimately is what impacts all of the companies in the world, positively and negatively. So my entire style of investing, which I call social arbitrage, it's like information asymmetry. But what it really is just observational investing. Okay, it's just literally observing the world, seeing it change, connecting the dots to the companies and sectors that are going to benefit from that change or be harmed by that change, because you can invest in, you know, in shorting companies if you want to go down that road, right? Placing your bets and beating Wall Street. Like, that's all that it is. And the people that are positioned best to do really well with that type of investing are just normal people that are not like financially minded, that are not mathematicians. And here's what I tell people. You know, any money that you have invested in risk assets, the stock market is a risk asset. You have to mentally, every time you check your account, reduce it by 70%. It's your downside, realistically. Just realistically, that's your downside. So from the first dollar you put in, you think your account's a $100 account, and it's a $30 account. You have to be willing to live with that risk account being 70% less, okay? Realistically, that's probably the lowest it's ever gonna go in the worst of all worst case scenarios. Now, anything is possible in this world. We can disappear tomorrow, okay? So like, anything is possible. But for the most part, your absolute like Great Depression style, worst of all worst case scenarios, I like to think of it as down 70%. So bucketing money is one of the most important things for an investor to do. So I always talk about the fact that investors only really have two decisions to make: how much of their money they want to have bucketed in risk assets, and how much they want to have bucketed in safety. You make that decision, and that decision changes over the course of your life. So when you're young, you might have 5 or 10%, or maybe even 0% in the safe bucket. Maybe you have 20%. And when you're old, you might have 80 or 90% in that bucket, right? Right. Everyone tries to overcomplicate wealth management. Everyone thinks, oh, it's really sophisticated. You go to a wealth manager, they'll hand you like an 80-page report that's your like personal financial plan. You're like, dude, this is so sophisticated. It's all BS. The whole thing is BS. Like, it's just a printed out load of crap to make it seem like it's sophisticated and you need all that assistance and help. Like, for me, I have money that's safe and I have money in risk assets. That's it. And honestly, for most people, if you don't want to play the game of trying to beat the market, the money in risk assets could just be in an S&P 500 ETF, exchange traded fund, that is basically free to buy and cost you like 0.1% internal management fee every year. It's the world's like cheapest way to invest, and you just put money in there every week or every month and you don't think about it, and then you open it up in 40 years and you're super wealthy. If you are just willing to start investing, there will be a moment in your life, more than likely, when you wake up one day and you realize that you're making more money from your investment portfolio than you are from your job. I'll never forget the day that happened to me. This is the biggest life hack. Nothing comes close. Literally nothing comes remotely close to this life hack. Forget about everything else in life and just start investing. Period.